Rolling.
Hi Nathan, first day sailing the boat today. First impressions?
Yeah, it's a pretty cool boat, the
Yeah.
AC40. I obviously never sailed one of these boats before, so it's pretty cool to be given the keys and commission the boat. And we had perfect conditions for it today, 10-12 knots most of the time. And yeah, she worked really nicely.
And we'll start with the tow down. Obviously towing down the harbour here and pretty quickly up to pace. Is that on autopilot or manual?
Yeah, so we were autopiloting. So we did all the tow tests yesterday, which went well, and just making sure that works for the one design with the autopilot. And yeah, so we towed all the way to the back paddock, like 25 knots most of the way, and the autopilot did its job. And
so you're just inputting the heading, you're not nothing to do with ride height?
No, you're just steering, and
Yeah.
you can control your height and the trim of the boat. So there's
the attitude sort of thing.
Yeah, so you got two buttons. You can basically increase your ride height or decrease it with a plus-minus button.
Got you.
Goes in about 100 mil increments.
Yep.
And then the trim is the same. Like you can just change the attitude of the boat.
Yeah.
She's pretty wet on takeoff, but once you're in the air, it's quite nice.
Form stability at low speed, it does look quite tender.
Yeah, not heaps, to be honest. It took us a little while to work out how to
Get the foil to
to get the foil to engage to get a bit of speed, but it's a combination of your main sheet load and your master rotation Cunningham. So it's quite interesting. The commissioning team, none of the guys, myself, Ray, Nick, or Sam sailed on the 75s last time around. So we had lots of conversations, and after a while we worked out the correct settings to get over 10 knots, which is when the foil engages, and at that point you're into a massive trim on because the riding moment comes so quickly, and you're doing 25 knots before you know it.
Before you know it. Nice. So we noticed first sail on starboard, it looked very stable, and then the second to the fourth sail, where you weren't so much on the breeze, you're more reaching, you'd get a puff or you'd do a big bear away and the ride height would change considerably. It would seem to bear away and come up to almost cavitate.
Yeah, I think the ride height, like the autopilot's pretty good upwind. And then as soon as you start to increase speed or you start to reach or you start to go downwind, I think the speed at which the boat's going through the waves is quite different. I think they went through similar things on the foiling chase boat, where when you have a high frequency and you're going through the waves, the boat responds nicely. But when you're going through the waves slower, or the car ferry goes past, and you get a bit of porpoising, so that's it's expected. And the guys working on the autopilot were not too surprised by that. And if that was our biggest concern today, that's not a bad problem.
That is all just software filtering out.
And that's why we're commissioning the boat. Like, for it to work perfectly out of the box was never expected. And I think we'll have a couple of weeks to make sure that everything on the boat's working well, and it was perfect conditions for our sailing today. You wouldn't want to have the boat porpoising around that much if you were going much quicker, but you just do your best as a sailor and keep the rudder in the water and keep the mast in the sky.
Awesome. That's all.
You're a legend.